Smart 24, Drive Business.
As a vibrant and dynamic segment of the society, we have the strength and the fresh perspectives to push positive change. Well, in Uganda today, where the legal system plays a crucial role of governance, when it comes to our businesses, it creates a framework within which our businesses can operate, ensure fairness and accountability. Today, we are expounding more on the role the youths play when it comes to shaping the legal landscape.
Good, and I think to me it is very important that we realize the need for youth participation in legal bodies and legal organizations. Today I was having a discussion, a very good discussion with our guest today on the expired courses and how can, yes, I was very serious about it, and I was telling him how can the youth today defend themselves on something like that, because we may not be victims here on set, but then I noticed that some people out there, some youth out there are victims and they need representation. They need some legal knowledge on how they can go about things like this. So I think to me it is important that the youth should participate in legal decision making, and they should be knowing some of the legal procedures that can help them protect their businesses. It is very important.
I know all the young people are very scared to be lawyers or something. You guys, are you interested in learning the wide legal scope of our lovely country? Not only Uganda's legal scope, also the entire world, because our guest today is going to be expounding more on that and more of the benefits of being a lawyer or involving yourself in the legal sector.
The reason as to why I was laughing earlier is because apparently I'm still in school, people. I'm pursuing a bachelor's in environmental science, technology and management, and guess what, last week my course appeared as expired in the newspaper. And honestly, it is something that is out of control on my side. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah. I'm having papers in a few weeks, and imagine you're reading for an expired course. So, but then, most importantly, I think the people affected in this case are the ones actually moving out to want maybe to study more outside, like Okuva, from this place, from Uganda. Other than that, I think the legal framework within the country is something that is not usually taken on so much. People don't know what to do. People don't know that sometimes they have been done bad and that they have to stand up for themselves, but they don't even know what article, So today on set, we are having a lawyer, a young lawyer, who is going to talk to us about the legal framework within the country. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm so excited to be here with you all. And to our viewers, I'm called Aziz Chitaka, and I'm a lawyer and a public relations practitioner. As a youth, I understand that the youth face a lot of problems when it comes to the legal framework of the country. But it happens elsewhere, even for the people who are not the youth. Bottom line, a youth, as we know, by the law, a youth is that one who is between 18 and 30 years.
Yeah.
That's basing on the...
30-35?
No, it's 30. The law properly states that it's 18 to 30. 30 years, basing on the National Youth Council Act. That's how it's prescribed. Now, as a lawyer, I understand that the youth, they need more understanding about the laws. Basically, the youth who are engaged in business.
Yeah. Yes. Actually, we are not the ones in business.
But it all starts from us, the lawyers, the ones who are going to be advising the youth. I said bottom line because I just wanted to put this clear.
Yes.
Now, based on the topic, you properly indicated that it's the role the youth can play in shaping the legal landscape.
Yeah.
So it all starts with the youth. The youth who are players, the lawyers themselves, how are they going to support the fellow youth and the entire country at large? So it all starts with the youth who are lawyers. You get? So what I'm trying to mean is that even when a sculptor is molding let's say a structure in mahogany, they have to first sharpen their
Okay.
Yeah.
so that they can sharpen very properly. So it all begins with the youth who are lawyers.
Yeah.
How are they going to execute their duties as lawyers to fellow youth and the audience at large?
Sure.
It all begins with the ethics that they have. Because let me assure you, if you deal with a lawyer who has no ethics, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
They will just keep on lying to you. So it all begins with the lawyers.
The lawyer themselves. Yeah.
Well,
Besides
normally when someone, maybe when we talk about laws and the legal systems, most people would think of maybe cases and the court, right? So for our beautiful viewer out there, how would you, like, in simple terms, elaborate to someone out there who doesn't understand where the legal system comes in touch with the businesses today in Uganda?
Well, to answer that question, the legal profession is termed as a noble profession.
Okay.
The reason why it's called a noble profession is that it deals with different kinds of people. You get?
Yeah, yeah.
Today you will deal with a person who is dealing in business, tomorrow a banker, tomorrow a person who has maybe a family issue, they want to divorce. It's created in such a way that it's unique. It's called noble just because it touches most of the different aspects of life. Yeah, so to answer you properly, when it comes to issues, you specifically indicated business. But I wanted to first show you the overview of the profession. So,
But I think they think the law is expensive for them and it's hard for them to understand.
well, that's true.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I think that once you're required to do something, you're supposed to do it. You have to come up with means of how you're going to address such issues.
Yeah.
Because I've seen so many youth who started their businesses, but then they reach at a point when their businesses grow, and then they're supposed to engage with legal firms, or let's say a company. A company can't deal with you as you, because they require that you're supposed to have a separate legal entity because they are audited. You get? So when maybe Stanbic Bank wants to deal with you on a personal basis, it might be audited. So that's why they normally ask, are you registered as a company? So it's at that point that the youth struggle that, who was a lawyer, please help me. And it's very expensive at that point because you waste a lot of time. You want to pay bribes so that your company can get registered in 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
So,
You get?
That is why it comes out to be expensive with time.
Yeah.
So they should now besides being expensive, there is that literacy among the youth. You realize they are there, their businesses are really gaining and they're bringing in more profit. They're not registered and they're thriving. So it goes, I think, as you are a lawyer, any young lawyer out there, how are we going to be able to get this information to the youth? Like, how are we going to tell them the importance of their businesses being registered, their business being there, like really, really a rightful business at the early stages?
I would answer that question in such a way that it's what we are doing right now.
wow.
But the government also has to come out to support this. Yes, the government came up with the National Youth Council, and its mandate is to support the youth, the ideas of the youth, to help the youth to engage in different activities. Now the question is, are they fulfilling their mandate? Because I see it's now the launch.
The first time I've actually had the National Youth Council. I've never had the
Most
National
people.
Youth Council is mandated to handle issues.
I know
Yeah.
the
Because
National
they are
Youth
supposed
Council.
to empower the youth.
Yeah.
But it's doing nothing.
But it,
You get?
in the
Yes.
legal
You don't
department
even know
or
about it. No,
Yeah.
it cuts across all the youth.
Okay.
Why do you say so?
maybe.
Yes.
Why do you say it
very
hasn't done
anything.
anything?
Yeah.
You don't know about it.
Maybe because maybe I'm the one who is not putting myself out there. Maybe it's me not deciding to use the internet to actually search about the National Youth Council. But
do you
honestly,
know the National Youth Council?
I don't
I'm
know
actually
about.
taking note that now we need to make sure
You
we
know.
need to make sure we look for someone from
I'll
the
bring
National
you
Youth
someone
Council.
from the
Exactly.
National
Yeah.
Youth Council.
You guys, we cannot have a youth council and
That could
We
be
don't
seen.
actually know about.
exactly, and we cannot know about it. So
And
I
the
think
most shocking part, it's not only
So
summary, by the way. It's not, yeah, it's not
I
only
even knew
summary.
that
Most people
chairperson
got to
of
know
that
about it
council.
after the expiration.
But what are their
of these courses.
achievements? What are they achieved so far?
Yeah.
Nothing. In my opinion,
No. They're going to be the
It's a
chairperson of the
national
council
council, which is
sometime. I
supposed
know
to-
him.
In my opinion,
Oh my
Yeah.
it is supposed to bring such issues closer to the youth.
Yeah.
For the youth to know.
Yeah.
Youth who are creating business.
It might be too political and it just forgot
But
to reach the
don't you
people.
think it's also the young people who are not serious? Because to have your government,
But the council is there.
so do you think that it's the young people who are not really serious to actually gather this information?
I wouldn't say so, because in my opinion, I think that if you have a mandate, you have to come up with every means possible so that you can execute it.
For example, this conundrum that is happening with the expired courses, this council should be on board to say, please, what can our young people do to solve something like this? But where are they?
And
Very
my question would be, why did they wait till now? Some of us, our courses expired since 2015. Can you imagine?
2010.
What were they
Are you a
waiting
victim
for?
as well?
As in
I'm a
people-
victim, my dear. Yes,
The
I am.
funniest thing
Right,
is
that
that
is
the
happening.
person who is heading the National Council of Higher Education that is supposed to review those courses
Oh, God.
is
Yeah.
our VC. He sits on that board. He sits on our board where the courses are expired. And I actually don't know what is really happening in this country.
But
Even
can I
law was
say-
expired. Yeah, I'm very surprised.
Even low, can you imagine?
But law was expired since 2016. It is very sad. It is very
Alright. So what's the way forward? Because the courses are expired and somewhere, somehow, people may not actually gain the ambitions because
Our young
to some
lawyers,
extent, some businesses, like for example scientific businesses, will actually need like maybe uptake of education from outside there to grow our country here. So how is the legal framework going to help us?
Well, it's a challenge. When you talk about legal, as a lawyer, think about maybe something like I like dispute against universities. But in my opinion, like we discussed, I don't think that it can help. As much as you have an expired course, yes, you have rights that you can enforce. Because at the beginning, when you're joining a university, normally universities advertise in newspapers that they are accredited.
Yeah.
So you base on that.
Yeah.
So that I'm not going to join any other university, but I'm going to join Kumba,
Chambogo
Chambogo,
University.
just because I saw on their website that all the programs are accredited.
Accredited.
So it's on that basis that money was paid, you know. So basing on that, you can maybe say that there was some sort of misrepresentation in the university. There was some sort of breach of contract, breach of consumer protection laws and so on.
You know?
So
Lack of funds.
lack of funds.
Because I think the university has to pay.
Yeah.
They revise the course after the years it's supposed to, like when it's supposed to expire, they revise it and then when the Council of Higher Education makes it valid again.
Yeah,
We've
they have
been
some
paying
fees.
20K
I don't think that a
every
course
year
which
to
is already
National
expired
Expired can be remade.
Can be paid.
Our sisters
You cannot, you cannot renew backwards.
The interesting thing, as he said, that actually, if you go to court, if Samari and Bronya go to court, they can actually win compensation, you know, for what has been, you know,
In this
done.
country.
Damage.
Yes, he said, he actually mentioned that you can actually get,
you just don't
you can actually get 300 million from the government for that. But then he mentioned that what's going to change?
Yeah.
Even if you got the 300 million, the fact that the course is expired won't change.
Clayton, I will use that money to go back to school. I still have that time.
different
I go
course.
back. I can go back.
And do a different course.
A different course, yes.
And you get expired also as you're studying it. Like I'm just tired of education.
But I would go back to school though. I would go back to school
Anyway,
after getting that money.
I think away from the expired courses, you as a lawyer, what are the legal requirements someone should make sure that their business has or should have from the word go in order to make sure that they don't face any problems in the future?
Yeah, the moment you get a business idea, the business idea can start with you, or let's say together. So the first thing you're supposed to think about is, how is my business going to be structured? If you are alone, you can say that I hope to make maybe a single member company. If you are many, you can choose to make a limited liability company or a partnership. So once you establish that, then from that step you move on to the step of registering the business. That is the first step. Then upon registration, based on the kind of business that you're dealing in, you can choose to, the law prescribes that for businesses dealing in trade, they're supposed to get licenses.
Yeah.
So that's also the next step.
Yeah, licenses.
So for the youth, the other important aspect might be tax consideration. You might need to know the different taxes that you're going to encounter while you're trying to do the transactions and so on. That's where a lawyer comes in hand. Then the other can be the intellectual property laws.
Yeah, copyright.
Those ones which protect your creativity. Because right now I believe that the youth are creating businesses which are creative in such a way that, because I believe, I'm sorry to say this, they are few jobs, you know.
That's honest.
So
That is
the youth
honest.
end up
And
creating their own jobs.
yeah.
And those jobs, because youth are innovative, because they try out to search everything on internet so that they can come up with something.
And
Then that becomes their intellectual property, something that they have created as them. So as the youth out there, they should know that their intellectual property should be protected. If I come up with software, that belongs to me. If I come up with, let's say, a trademark, something of a sort, I need to register it because I'm earning money from it.
That's right.
You get? So all those aspects, consumer protection, we should know how am I going to deal with the consumers, best practices. All those are prescribed under the law. But bottom line, I would suggest that you get a lawyer. Lawyers tend to be expensive.
Jewelry.
They don't tend to. They
But-
are.
Thank you.
Jewelry and Barry.
Yeah, lawyers are
Yeah.
expensive, but I believe that each one of us here has a lawyer in their side.
Yes.
There is always that one lawyer that you can call and say,
Some
cancel.
are fake.
No, that's
Not-
one would say why
are
you
you
make
apart from our
friendship
lovely
with
ones,
business.
there are
You
other
understand?
fake ones.
If I'm a lawyer, don't exploit me just because we are friends. You have to pay
Yeah, I
me.
understand,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, yeah,
Brenia,
exactly.
because of that, please take some coffee because we are at normal where we have beautiful coffee for this morning. And guys, you have to always be at Onomo for coffee, breakfast, meetings, conferences. This is your place.
Yes, I don't know
Brenia,
how to-
your point deserves some coffee.
I don't know how to open this thing.
I need some coffee because
Just-
I
You
cannot.
just,
Actually, teach me so that the people
you just
watching
push
can-
and then
So Aziz, now our youths are there, but then
wow,
there's still unemployment still even for the lawyers, even for any other person. How are we going to come? Because you also you said it is less. I was graduating early in Feb, and the day law school was graduating, there were like 1,000 of them. They are now out there, and earlier this week their course expired. So,
Even yours.
It still breaks my heart.
I'm so sorry. Brenia.
speaking of speaking in the perspective of lawyers, in many and even in other professions,
yeah.
for me I believe in doing things in a unique or innovative way. You have to think outside the box. If you know that there are so many lawyers in the field, what is new that you're going to do as a young lawyer? You've just come into the field, you're trying to gain experience. You know? There are people who have been in the field for 30 years. They know everything. What are you going to do? You know? On top of these conventional things that you know, we know that a lawyer should get mentorship and so on. You as a person, what are you doing? What are you adding to the profession as a young lawyer? I believe that most young lawyers right now are more adept to technology than those ones who have been in the profession for quite some time. Some of them don't even have smartphones.
The old people.
The old people.
Really?
Some do have them, but they don't know how to use them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You get? Now there are these emerging issues that are coming up.
We don't
You
know.
know? They used to collect evidence basing on oral testimonies, basing on documents.
Yeah.
But right now, you can get a client who says that I want to divorce my partner just because I found messages when my partner was cheating on me.
Yeah.
A lawyer who does not, a senior lawyer who does not use a smartphone, yes, might ask for that screenshots. But now this is a developing area. You know? when you look at other countries like the United States, UK, those things already emerged and they came up with different solutions.
So screenshots are actually used in court?
Yes, you can tell
That's
them.
evidence.
It's evidence.
Yeah.
But there are
What's that?
certain legal requirements that you're supposed to follow. You
Yeah.
cannot adduce a screenshot which he has given you and you take it to court. It's supposed to be yours.
Yeah.
Because testimony.
Yeah, it should
must-
be yours
yeah,
from
should
your
be
side.
yours. If it is not yours, then there are other things that are supposed to follow. Then basing on that, there are some technical things which are quite akin to IT.
Yeah.
Senior lawyers don't know that. And I'm not afraid to say that.
Yeah.
But as a young lawyer,
Yeah.
you know, that means you can say that, oh, let me just venture in this. Let me just become so good at this.
Yeah.
With time, remember the field is growing each and every day. You know, you can create a mark. You can create a mark out of that. But it can take you time to get a case, let's say a banking case, for you to go and represent Standard Bank.
Yeah.
They can't. They're still riding on a border.
Yeah.
How can a bank trust you with a transaction which is worth billions?
Take where money.
Actually,
What
I
is
think
exciting?
it's more of how you are, like dressing code
No.
Yeah, that matters.
and status compared to the integrity and what you can, and how best
Definitely.
you can argue your case.
Definitely.
But then I want to ask, what institutions are really ready out there to offer this information to young people? What platforms are ready to educate young people about
The
laws
legal
and-
reforms and
because the laws
everything.
are many, and actually Ghana has very good laws. Very good laws that
Not
are not being
implemented.
Which are not implemented.
Yes.
On addition to what actually somebody has asked, I would also want just to mention, these young people, maybe they do not have those legal procedures in their businesses because they have lacked some training, some legal training. These young people must be trained to understand some of the legal actions they need to take once they have some issues in their businesses. Their businesses need to be protected, but they lack that, education. First of all, that legal education, because from B1, I don't think anyone teaches about the law until you get to university.
Yeah.
I mean, campus
And
they
yeah,
don't teach. Okay,
no, campus we have
environmental
learned about some business laws,
Yeah.
those
and
topics.
it's shallow.
But then, yes, it's still not in depth. But I still want to understand, Mr. Aziz, what can be done to increase, the legal awareness and some of those legal trainings, because they are necessary for young people to know and also be part of.
Well, a lot has been done by the respective bodies. For example, URSP. If you follow their page, they always put things concerning how to register a business. How can you do this?
Actually, we brought
Yeah.
it earlier on, one of our episodes, about registering a business.
Yeah.
So they have tried so
Yeah.
much, but as a person who wants to make a business, you also have the obligation
To fight.
to search. Because if you do not do something, you cannot plead that I didn't know about it.
No.
The principle of law is that ignorance of law is no excuse.
Wow.
Even for other laws which are out there that you don't know, the moment you breach, you cannot say
I didn't know.
about it.
See, that's a challenge, Mr.
That's a
Aziz.
challenge. So you as a person who is engaging in a specific activity, as a youth who wants to create a business, it's upon you
To make
do-
good research.
do
Research.
something like research before you even engage a lawyer. That's why you say that lawyers are thieves.
Yeah.
You approach a lawyer without knowing anything. You get?
But Mr. Aziz, when you say it's upon you, I don't think I agree with that, because I really think legal bodies, legal organizations should set up legal trainings for
They
you.
do. They do set up those legal trainings.
Do you feel like
They
they have
do
created
communicate to the
enough
public.
awareness?
I believe that the awareness is enough.
Yeah,
How?
You guys,
How?
when it comes to law.
Because first of all, we did not know about the National Youth Council.
I
We
didn't.
didn't know about it. Okay, maybe for us we did not know about it, and that could be.
And now the issue
As to
about
what?
the National Youth Council, that one has its own problems. But for me, I'm
Is it
speaking,
okay?
Can I
About the ignorance.
The
I'm
legal.
speaking for URSP. I believe they have done.
Enough.
Hard. Even you are, it has tried.
They
There's this lady from
they have
URL
done
that
everything
always
possible to
comes
let the public know. So, and
But
for
still
the
lawyers,
youth,
Buffett.
I think when they scroll through their newsfeed and social media, they see Uganda Registration Services Bureau, they just scroll down. to check for something
to
which has a
Zari
celebrity,
and
you know?
Zari
Yeah.
and Santana.
Yet those are the things that benefit them.
Oh yes, guys, I hope you enjoyed the first session, and we shall be back with more on how the youth can be involved when it comes to the legal landscape. Stay tuned, stay connected.